Hello students, how are you all? So let's start with today's class 12 biology. So we have started with second chapter, and in the previous session we have discussed about the development of male and female gametophyte, the process of pollination and the adaptations of the plants where the different agents of pollinations are used, like if either it is a wind pollination or insect pollination or water pollination. Next step is fertilization. So the pollination was the event in which the pollen grains reaches the stigma of the female reproductive part. The next step will be the pollen grains carrying male gametes will enters into the female reproductive part, into the ovary and then into the ovule, and then they will fuse with the female gamete for fertilization. As you all know, fertilization is the process of fusion of male and female gametes. So for that they have to follow these following steps, then only they will be able to reach the female reproductive organ and near the female gamete for fertilization. So let us see the events that takes place in fertilization. It was explained by the scientist Strasburger. So Strasburger was a scientist who explained this fertilization in angiospermic plants. So first step is pollen-pistil interaction. What is this pollen-pistil interaction? As we have already discussed that in case of cross-pollination, the plants that will release the pollen grains from one plant will transfer to the stigma of another plant in case of cross-pollination. Another plant, but that plant should be of same species. So when the pollens they will reach to another flower of another plant of same species, then they will not be like, they will move in the air randomly. Okay, so there are so many pollens in the air moving which are of different plants. Then how will they know that they have to reach to which plant? Means that is why we will study here pollen-pistil interaction. So to make it easy for the pollens to find out the pistils of their own species, there is some interaction between the pollen and pistil which is called pollen-pistil interaction. So here you can see all the events from pollen deposition on the stigma until the entry of pollen tube into the ovule, all together are considered as pollen-pistil interaction, which means that when the pollen grain they have to reach to the stigma, for that there is some interaction between the two, some compatibility between the two, and after reaching the stigma they will enters into the ovule through style and they will reach the ovule to fuse with the female gamete with the male gamete. Okay, so this is called pollen-pistil interaction. So here you can see this is a pistil or female reproductive part of a flower, and this is a pollen grain. The pollen grain, when either it is coming by wind or by water or by insects, when it will reach to the stigma part of the female reproductive organ of another flower or of another plant, there is some secretion from the stigma over its surface. This secretion is a sugary substance or chemical, you can say a mixture of sugar and water. The secretion has a mixture of sugar and water which will help this pollen grain to find out the stigma of its own species. It is never possible that the plant of one species can interact with the or may be compatible with the pollen grain of another species. Okay, the both species should be same, and that will be detected by this pollen-pistil interaction due to this sugary substance released by the stigma over its surface. This substance will help this pollen grain to find out its own stigma. This is called pollen-pistil interaction. Now this happens in two steps. First step is recognition of compatible pollen. Compatible pollen is which we will use for the pollen which is of same species. Okay, so the acception or rejection of the pollen will be decided by the stigma because of this secretion secreted by the stigma. When First step will be the recognition of compatible pollen. The pollen will recognize the stigma of its own kind because of this secretion. This is the first step. Second step is pollen germination and development of male gametophyte. When the pollen will reach to the stigma, its compatible stigma, the secretion will be secreted by the stigma, which will be absorbed by this pollen grain. Now the question is how this pollen grain will absorb this sugary substance, because it is covered with the exine layer. But do you remember that we have discussed there are some small pores present in between the exine layer, so that any kind of chemical or secretions can enter inside the pollen grain. So this pollen grain will absorb this chemical or sugary substance through its germ pores, and then it will enter into the next stage, which is called pollen germination. Pollen germination means the formation of pollen tube through the style. We will take up these steps in detail later, one by one. Let me first give you the introduction just. So the pollen grain will absorb this sugary substance and will enter into the style, because it has to cross the style to reach the ovary where ovule is present. Okay, so ovule is present inside the ovary. It has reaches to the stigma, and after stigma it has to cross through the style through pollen tube, and due to this movement the pollen tube will be formed. This process will be called as pollen germination. So is it clear what is pollen germination? Next is development of male gametophyte. So as we know that the pollen grains are, there are 60% of the angiospermic plants where the pollen grains have two-cell stage. One is the vegetative cell and other is the generative cell. That generative cell has two male gametes in it for further fusion with the female gamete. Now why there are two male gametes, we will see in the next step. So when the pollen grain will undergo pollen germination, along with that it will undergo development, because sometimes in some cases 40% of the plants the pollen grains are in the two-cell stage. So they have to divide the gamete, the generative cell has to divide its nucleus to form male gametes. This will be called as development of male gametophyte. Okay, so this will be the step in which the pollen tube will passes through the style and the development of male gametophyte will take place, so that the male gametes can be properly formed for further fertilization. Now next step is when this pollen tube will reaches the ovule. Inside the ovule the male gamete, female gamete is there, because we have already discussed the development of female gametophyte, where we have learned about the embryo sac, seven-celled 8 nuclei structure. In there was a structure, there was a cell which was considered as egg. So egg was the female gamete where the male gamete has to reach for fusion. Now there is a special kind of fertilization in case of angiospermic plants, which is called double fertilization, which is a unique feature of angiospermic plants. So let us discuss these steps in detail one by one. So let us see the pollen germination and development of male gametophyte through this diagram. So as we have already discussed that pollen germination means when the first step was pollen pistil interaction, when the compatible pollen reaches to the stigma, and due to when the compatible pollen reaches to the stigma due to the secretion secreted by the stigma, the next step is pollen germination, that is the development of pollen tube through the style to reach the ovule for fertilization. So here you can see I have shown you the LS of pistil. LS means the longitudinal section of the pistil. So when the pollen grains, so many pollen grains will reach over the surface of the stigma, and one or few may form the pollen tube for germination, but only one pollen grain will be able to form the pollen tube to pass throughout the style to reaches the ovule for fertilization. So here you can see many pollen grains are there, germinating pollen grains, but only one has been able to reaches to the ovule. So here you can see the pollen grain will fall over the stigma, it will pass through the style, it has to move through the tissue of the style, it will dissolve the tissue of the style and will pass over through the style and will reaches to the ovary. So when this pollen grain will reaches to the ovary and then to the ovule. So this you can see here the structure of ovule which we have already discussed, and inside the ovule the embryo sac is there. So embryo sac is a 7-celled 8-nucleated structure, and the pollen tube will always enters into the ovule through its micropylar site. As we have discussed already that the integuments are there around the nucellus, but at one point the integuments are not present. That end is called micropylar end. So that was only for the entry of pollen tube. So when the pollen tube will reaches to the ovule, this is the micropylar end and this is the embryo sac. So this pollen tube will enters towards the ovule through this micropylar site. And you know that the pollen tube is carrying vegetative cell and generative cell, and generative cell has 2 male gametes. So let us see, after reaching to the ovule, the pollen tube carrying 2 male gametes will undergo fertilization, and there is a unique feature of angiospermic plants which is called double fertilization, that we will see in the next topic. So let's see when the pollen tube will enters into the ovule, how it will release the male gametes into the embryo sac of the ovule, where the female gamete is already present in the form of egg, and how the 2 male gametes fuses with the other 2 cells. One is the egg cell and other is the pollen nuclei, that will be in the double fertilization. So let's see here. So this we have already discussed, the entry of pollen tube into the ovule. Now I have shown you this thing in the more detailed form. So here you can see this is the embryo sac. I have shown you the lower part of the embryo sac which is carrying egg apparatus. So egg apparatus contains 2 synergids and 1 egg cell. So these are the 2 synergids. So these are the 2 synergids, and in the center there is a egg. Sorry. So these 2 are the synergids which are present at the periphery, and in the center there is a egg cell present. The pollen tube which is coming towards the embryo sac from the micropylar end will first move towards the synergids, because synergids will play a very much important role in fertilization. The synergids, you can see these finger-like projection inside the synergids. These are visible. Are these visible? So you can see these finger-like projections which are called filiform apparatus. So these are called filiform apparatus. So when this pollen tube carrying 2 male gametes along with the vegetative nucleus reaches this synergid cell, these filiform apparatus will guide them to move towards them. So these synergid cells carrying this filiform apparatus will guide them to move towards them. Now this synergid cell will undergo degeneration. Slowly these 2 synergids will undergo degeneration, which means that after degeneration the 2 male gametes are now released inside the embryo sac. So these are the 2 male gametes which have been released inside the embryo sac. Now their next purpose is to fuse with this egg cell, and the second one where does it will go? Let's see now. So this will be the step where this pollen tube carrying 2 male gametes will enter inside the embryo sac with the degeneration of the synergids. So here we have shown entry of pollen tube through the synergids into the embryo sacs. So let us see the double fertilization. So as we have discussed already, this is the embryo sac, and the entry of pollen tube inside the embryo sac, or the entry of male gametes into the embryo sac in the last step. After the entry of 2 male gametes, you can see here this is 1 male gamete and this is second male gamete. So when these 2 male gametes enter inside the embryo sac, what will they do? They will undergo fertilization, but it is a specific type of fertilization. Let's see how. So this is 1 male gamete. It will fuse with the egg cell here, because you know that there were two synergids which has been degenerated. Now this male gamete, after entry into the embryo sac, will fuse with this egg cell, which is a female gamete, and this fusion of male and female gamete is called syngamy or fertilization. This fusion will form a diploid cell, that is called zygote. As we all know, the fusion of male and female gamete will form zygote. Now what about the second male gamete? So here you can see the second male gamete that has been entered into the embryo sac will move towards the central cell. Do you remember the central cell when we have discussed about the structure of embryo sac? In the center there was a cell which is called central cell carrying two polar nuclei. So these are the two polar nuclei, and this is one other male gamete. So these three nuclei or two cells will fuse with each other. Actually this is a cell. I have shown you the nucleus only. Okay. So these two cells will fuse with each other, but now this cell is not considered to be zygote because here the male gamete has fused with other cell other than female gamete. So it will fuse with the central cell carrying two nuclei. So this fusion is called as triple fusion. Why? There are three nuclei in this. That is why this fusion is called triple fusion. So triple fusion or double fertilization is a specific feature of angiospermic plants. Now due to this triple fusion, the triploid cell that will be formed later is called primary endosperm nucleus. So this is the name of the cell, primary endosperm nucleus. So this primary endosperm nucleus here you can see is a triploid cell because it has been formed by the fusion of three nuclei. And zygote is normal. As normal, it is a diploid cell. So what is this primary endosperm nucleus then? This primary endosperm nucleus will form the future endosperm, and the zygote will form the future embryo. The zygote will undergo mitotic division to form the embryo for further development into the seed. But here the primary endosperm nucleus will form the endosperm. Now what is this endosperm? It is a nutritive tissue covering which is present around the embryo for providing the nutrition to the developing embryo. So this is the function of an endosperm. So this was all about the double fertilization, and this video of the pollination as well as double fertilization, one link I will be giving in your description box, so that in the description you will find one link so that you can see the animated videos of these two topics that will make you more clear for both of these processes. So this is the double fertilization. Next we will start with the next topic in the next video.